Orphan used to be a member of the strongest rank party, but his friends kicked him out because his support magic wasn't good at others. However, in reality, he was never a true magician. He decided to return to his real passion, swordsmanship, so he became strongest adventure. Well, the story begins with our main character Orphan hunting dark rabbits inside a dungeon. While fighting, he tells himself that he is good. His skills haven't completely deteriorated yet. Suddenly, he finds himself surrounded by an entire group of goblins, but Orphan doesn't panic. He thinks this is a perfect chance to test his magic. He immediately activates support magic on himself, boosting his strength, speed, and overall stats. With the help of this magic, Orphan easily eliminates all the goblins. His support magic has a fixed time limit, normally 3 minutes. It depends on each person's magic resistance, and in Orphan's case, it lasts exactly 3 minutes. Usually, support magic stays away from short fights, but Orphan is completely different. In every fight, he has to keep perfect track of time so that the enemy dies before his magic runs out. After defeating the goblins, Orphan recalls a painful memory from his past moment. He was kicked out of the hero's party. They were the same people who had his childhood friends, the party leader Oliver, bluntly tells him that he had kept him in their team only because of their child relationship. But now, Orphan is no longer at the level. The other party members, Anley and Derek, also start mocking him. Orphan is shocked and wonders why these people are saying such things. Oliver declares in a serious tone and that Orphan lacks skill. Therefore, he has to leave the team. Orphan can't believe the same friends with whom he formed the party 8 years ago, who reached the dungeon in just a few years, are now kicking him out. This was the same team that had cleared floor 94 of the Southern Great Dungeon together, a record no one else ever reached. That's why people started Heroes Party. Orphan says that maybe he is strong, but this applies to everyone, meaning the other members also have weakness. But Oliver replies that is in the last genre ride he saw enhancers from other S-rank parties who are truly amazing, and Orphan is nothing compared to them. Orphan explains that his main class was originally Swordsman and he had created his own spells just to support the party. But Derek shuts him up and taunts him that he had changed the class because he was weaker than Oliver, which is the sword. Hanley also says that Orphan isn't even a particular good hand enhancer now. Orphan tells them that he took the enhancer role because the party needed it and he was the only one capable. Recover his weakness with magic, and that's why team survived even on the deeper dungeon floors. Thanks to him, but Oliver stops him and says they have already found his replacement. Hearing this, Orphan is completely shocked. Then Alice says that they were the hero's party, so they have to keep moving forward, and Orphan has become nothing but a burden for them. Understanding the situation, Orphan realizes there is no place for him here, so he starts to leave, but as this goes, Hanley throws to them one last stand. Orphan knows magic, swordsmanship, everything, but only at a rank level. Then she adds that such people are just called jacks of all trades, meaning jack of all trades, master of none. Back in the dungeon, Orphan thinks that he has now both swordsman and enhancer classes. It decides to combine the two to create a completely new fighting skill. He promises himself that he will never be called a jack of all trades again, and that one day he will become an adventurer who can do anything. A little later, he registers that the floor on the teleporter crystal and is able to exit. Suddenly, some adventurers come running into the safe zone. They were arguing among themselves that it was wrong to leave the girl behind and run. Their leader says that if he didn't run, so everyone would have died, and that girl just joined the team that day. So in his position, the old members were not important. Orphan quietly listens to everything. He knows what it feels like to be abandoned by a group. In anger, he calls them cowards and losers who are making excuses to hide their mistake. Hearing this, they get angry and one of them attacks Orphan, but Orphan easily knocks him down and asks for the girl's location. Meanwhile, the girl is alone and panicking as orcs surrounded her. In her last hope, she uses her barrier magic, but she knows it won't hold for long. The orcs keep attacking the barrier. As soon as the barrier breaks, Orphan makes his entrance and stands in front of that girl. He attacks the orcs. The girl is shocked because she sees that Orphan is using both support magic and swords fighting. He fights with a combination of magic sword, killing the orcs one by one. Then he uses special move, Sharpness Up, which makes his sword cut through the orcs little better. And in a second, all the orcs are eliminated. His fighting style is completely unique. As the orc dies, the girl breathes a sign of relief and starts praying. She can't believe that she is alive. After coming out of dungeon, she thanks him and introduces himself as Sophia Claudip. Orphan finds her surname and emblem somewhat familiar. but he doesn't pay much attention and introduces himself as Orhan Dura. Sophia sweetly invites him to dinner. Orhan hesitates a bit, but he agrees after her insistence. At night, they go to a simple but tasty restaurant. Then Orhan notices that Sophie's emblem belongs to the silver rabbit of the night sky. Now he understands that Sophie is an explorer from that clan, one of most powerful guides in the Nohi kingdom. Suddenly, Sophia sees her big sister and goes to her, asking what is doing here. Her sister says they have something meeting nearby. She asks what Sophia is doing where and who is this boy because she is still too young and have a boyfriend. Upon closer look, she recognizes Orphan. Orphan greets her. Sophia is surprised that Orphan knows her sister. Orphan explains that no one wouldn't know Silver Claudiel, the S-rank leader of the Silver Rabbits, because she is the strongest enhancer of this continent. She is the one who popularized, enhances, and introduced the idea of group composition in a party, different roles like attackers, defenders, and supporters. The hero's party was no different. Thus, Horan had to become an enhancer from a swordsman, and that's why Oliver and others replaced him. But Horan doesn't understand why Selma is looking at him angrily. She suddenly asks why is he after a 14-year-old sister? Is he trying to deceive her sister? Horan immediately clarifies that he has no bad intentions. He just came to have dinner with her, but Selma misunderstands and starts yelling at Horan. Then Sophia intervenes and reminds Selma that Horan saved her life. Selma gets angry upon learning that Sophia went to dungeon alone, but later calms down, apologizes to Horan and thanks him. A little later, Selma says she hadn't noticed Horan since her last ride, and this is the first time they are sitting and talking like this. Sophia asks how they know each other. Horan says they were together in last month's joint excursion. Selma explains that both are enhancers, so they were together in last ride. Horan says that Selma gave very good commands, he was just helping from the back. But Selma is impressed that Horan provided exactly the kind of help she expected. Sophia is surprised and she is talking as his orphan is some big name. Since Selma reveals that Orphan is one of famous member of Hero's party, Sophia is shocked and starts feeling shy. Orphan says there is no need for her to be a formal. He also clarifies that he is no longer part of that group. Hearing this, Selma is a bit surprised and asks if he really left the group. Orphan replies that he left just yesterday. Selma says how could the Hero's party let go of a talented man like him? Orphan dodges the question and says it was just some small issue and the decision was mutual. Selma directly asks if he is free now. Orphan thinks she might want to recruit into Silver Rabbit clan, so he clarifies upfront that he doesn't want to join any clan or group. But Selma smiles and says she's misunderstanding. Actually, she has a perfect job for him. She tells him that their clan is going to an instructional exploration in 2 days. She wants Orphan to participate. Payment will be given and he can treat it like a field training. Selma explains that many A rank and higher experienced explorers will lead groups of Navi explorers and take them off the floor 50 of the greatest southern dungeons. Orphan immediately says that no matter how talented the Navics are, reaching that level usually takes 6 months to a year. In his opinion, this plan is outrageous madness. But Selma says if they take shortcuts, that's not possible, and actually that is what her sponsors are demanding. Orphan understands that even a powerful clan like the Silver Rabbits has to follow orders. But then he questions why didn't refuse the sponsors instead of taking such big risks. Thinking a little makes him realize the real reason. Even if the Navics don't defeat the bosses, they can explore and register the further floors. This will increase the overall strength of the entire clan. Selma is surprised that Orphan understands everything with so little information. She admits he is quite intelligent. She explains that Noviks will definitely die in front of the bosses, so explains her adventures will protect them there and defeat the boss. This way, they can register in the crystal to go to the next floors. That's why she wants Orphan to come along too. Orphan says this plan is very important for the Silver Rabbits, so he doesn't understand why they want to include an outsider like him. Selma suddenly grabs his hand and says she respects him a lot. Hearing this, Orphan is completely shocked. He wonders why Selma respects him as an enchanter. This is happy news for him, but on the other hand, the hero's party kicked him off, calling him weak, because in his joint ride, his support magic provides weaker than Selma's. After all this, he doesn't want to become a hunter again. After thinking for a while, he thanks for the offer but says he has other plans. The Sophia intervenes and says
She is also going on that intersectional exploration. She smiles and says she would be very happy if orphans comes along too. She innocently saying please, please, seeing such thing, beautiful face, Orhan start blushing. Still, he doesn't say yes immediately. He says he will think about it and blood Farface one thing. He has changed his class to swordsman. He thinks Selma respects him a lot as an enchanter, but if he goes, he will go as a swordsman. Hearing this, Selma is surprised and asks why he did that. Orhan understands why she is surprised but doesn't change his decision. Selma accepts it. Thinking about if the situation worse, Orhan can still take the encounter role. Selma says that if he decides to participate, he should come to the Silver Rabbit's headquarters the next morning. Orhan agrees. A little later, Orhan goes to a shop where old man is present. Looking at the shop, it seems they are selling potions and some magic items. During their conversation, it turns out that when Orphan was in the party, he made the shop a bit famous. That's why old man is doing very well. Over tea, Orhan tells that he's no longer part of the hero's party, so we won't be able to promote them further. But the old man tells him that they were grateful for every help he gave and will always be. Whether he is in the group or not, they know how much hard work Orphan has done. They say there are many people in the world who need someone like him. They advise him to listen to his heart, whether he lives for himself or else. They are with him. Orphan lovingly calls him grandpa and thanks him.